Mr. Chairman, my colleagues, business ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First, I want to say to Russell that I am not prepared at this moment to list all the achievements of my government during the past 4 years. But we do have a little booklet that's soon to be out on the government website, which will be listing all those achievements. So, Russell, there it is. I'm actually beginning to feel like I'm a fixture at this conference. Rightly or wrongly so, I'm actually quite flattered that Russell always sees fit to ask me to lend my voice to what has become the preeminent annual conference or seminar here in the BVI. I know that BVI professionals from all walks of life look forward to this event each year. I'd like to think that I'm a key part of the draw, but if that's a bit of a stretch, one of my staff told me I should say that, so don't blame me. I know that, but seriously, I'm always happy to be part of this conference. Each year I beam with pride because my friends Russell and Portia, along with their Oyster team, are able to do this at a consistently high level that is second to none. To them I want to say once again, very well done. Last year I was proud to see Russell move this BVI Outlook brand beyond BVI and all the way to Hong Kong. That was truly unprecedented for BVI homegrown firm to have the courage to bring Asian practitioners together in that marketplace. Indeed, it was in the theme of that conference a strategic pivot towards Asia. More importantly, in hindsight, he seemed to be forerunning the theme for Business Outlook 2015 and moving beyond his bubble. I don't know whether he is an unwitting genius or an accidental visionary, but either way, I am proud that he undertakes this conference and is wider brand for the benefit and in the interest of the BVI. As I reflect on the last couple of conferences with thought-provoking themes such as preparing a new global opportunity, thinking outside the box, and taking our game to the next level, I see a continuum. A continuum that is in some ways analogous to what I do as minister and representative of the people. You see, in politics, we govern and we represent people on a continuum of 4 years. And if we have favor, the continuum goes on longer. And I hope I'll be favored very soon. But much like Russell's conferences, we build as we travel that continuum. Today's Russell's continuum challenges us to move beyond the bubble. And while intrinsically this is an individual challenge, I've had the privilege of leading this country collectively beyond our bubble. And so this morning I want to reflect on some of the things my government has been doing to help BVI make the proverbial leap as we continue to move BVI beyond its bubble. I also want to take some liberty in offering my own views, perhaps somewhat idealistically, about other things that we ought to be doing. I start with financial services. Globally, the international financial services industry is at a critical point in its history. Our own industry here in the BVI is no exception. For over 2 decades, we've experienced unprecedented growth that has fueled BVI's economy, creating jobs, funding public services, and spurring entrepreneurship. In recent years, however, we have faced challenges including rises in international pressures, constantly shifting global standards, as well as greater competition. Combined, these challenges have negatively impacted the growth of our industry in the short term. However, we have not been sitting still. To retain the BVI's competitiveness and reputation, over the past few years, we have sought to critically examine our financial services industry in light of these shifts. Only a couple of months after I took office, in January 2012, I engaged with industry practitioners, including several of you who are here this morning, to assess the state of the industry and to try and identify new ways to invigorate and further develop it. I commissioned a task force to deliver recommendations arising out of these consultations. Earlier in the following year, my government hosted a retreat of a small number of professionals from the public and private sectors that culminated in what we call the Wadham Report. These two pieces of work resulted in a synthesized action plan for developing the financial services industry. Recently, we built on this work by completing a capstone initiative led by the firm of McKinsey over a 3-month period to develop a strategy and implementation plan to invigorate the financial services sector and lay the foundation for sustainable growth towards 2020. That initiative, which we dub Building on a Thriving and Sustainable Financial Services Industry, was an in-depth consultation which included the public and private sectors, as well as our international stakeholders, focusing on establishing a strategic framework for the future of the BVI financial services sector. And very importantly, it also sets out an implementing framework. During this exercise, we were able to identify some 40 initiatives and have prioritized implementation of 10 initiatives, which we hope to complete within the next couple of years, beginning immediately. You see, my government is fully committed to the rapid implementation of the prioritized initiatives, which include accelerating international compliance, meaningfully engaging the BVI population in the project, developing appropriate talent in the BVI, Financial Service Commission service enhancement, attracting value-added service, reforming immigration and labor, restructuring the marketing unit, and capability building. With these laudable initiatives aimed at helping us to indeed move beyond our financial services bubble, there are formidable difficulties in charting a new direction. One such formidable challenge is the matter of the beneficial ownership of companies. There's a push in some circles for the BVI and other overseas territories to maintain the beneficial ownership of companies in the central register. However, having undertaken a public consultation with the industry, there is a clear sense from the industry that the implications of such a move will be devastatingly negative to the core business of the BVI industry. My government is currently finalizing results of that study and intends to publish the findings in the coming weeks. However, it is important for me to state that BVI as a jurisdiction has always complied with international principles and standards of regulations. To this end, BVI will continue to comply with the FATF standards on beneficial ownership and consequently the G20 high-level principles on beneficial ownership transparency. We believe it is important that the ownership of companies is transparent and that information in relation thereto is available to law enforcement and other such authorities in a timely manner. Pardon me. We believe that it is important that the ownership of companies is transparent and that information in relation thereto is available to law enforcement and other such authorities in a timely manner. BVI's current regime is effective in complying with the standards, and we will be proposing relevant changes where necessary to ensure objectives are fully met, thereby improving the effectiveness of BVI's approach. Ladies and gentlemen, there are indeed a myriad of issues in the financial services industry. We are not running from them. We are confronting them head-on in consultation with you, the stakeholders, and with the advice of the experts. With your continued support, I sincerely believe that we will succeed. Turning to the other aspects of the economy. Moving this territory's economy forward requires a plan, ingenuity, a strong partnership with the public and private sectors, and an army of empowered BV Islanders and residents. Although we are a small territory, we are known to punch above our weight, and over the years have developed a formidable presence in the world of financial services and tourism. Have we met challenges along the way? Most definitely. But we have put our best foot forward and dealt with them head on. Despite not having a direct air access to these beautiful islands, we have managed to increase our overnight arrival numbers through targeted advertising in our existing markets and promoting the BVI as a premier destination in other markets such as South America and Asia. We continue to improve the tourist experience by endeavoring to provide a seamless connection between our major hubs, Antigua, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. Martin, and the BVI. Upgrading the national parks, training frontline staff, immigration and customs officers, and our taxi drivers, and encouraging entrepreneurship activities in the sector. However, I recognize that even with these best efforts, we continue to have issues. Indeed, it is at conferences like today's that we exchange ideas and speak frankly about the areas that need to be improved. I urge you to do so, as it is the only way that we will move beyond the bubble. Be that as it may, as we say in the BVI, talk is cheap. We need a lot more to move our tourism to the next level. This territory requires direct air access, new hotels and resorts. And this is almost like a chicken and egg situation, as new resorts will, for the most part, come with improved access. Maintenance of a pristine environment and discovering even more markets for our product remains also critical. And as we've been working hard on all of these, last year I spoke to you about the importance of new markets and how critical to this is our transportation infrastructure. To move beyond this bubble, we will continue to forge on incessantly. Since our first day in office, my government has been working to ensure a closer union between the two dominant sectors of the economy, tourism and financial services. We recognize that such a union will create new opportunities. When I spoke to Russell about this concept of moving beyond the bubble, he explained that we are speaking about taking leaps, not steps, beyond the current normal. I want to see the BVI take the leap where the twinning relationship between financial services and tourism is crystallized. A leap that would allow for clients of either industry to become clients of each other. After all, why can't our financial services clients become our new tourism clients and vice versa? This marriage can create fresh market opportunities for the territory and significantly increase the size of each market. This is why we've been pursuing strategic overhauls both in tourism and financial services to ensure that we not only have the fundamentals to maintain our industries, but also to grow them by tapping and targeting other markets. You will no doubt agree that with strong twin-pillar industries, tourism and financial services, comes an employed population, investment and entrepreneurship opportunities, expanded government fiscal balances, greater investment in social and infrastructure projects, etc. Essentially, an inclusive, growing economy. Now looking briefly at education. It is clearly no longer business as usual. It is business unusual. We have been positioned the BVI to succeed in this new global environment through education. It is not by happenstance that we have introduced both tourism and financial services into a school's curriculum. We want to make sure that both sectors remain strong and sustainable. We cannot sustain these industries without building capacity from within. And while there are many avenues to build capacity, many of which we are pursuing, fundamentally, we must get our education system right. We must do so at the professional development level. That is why, for example, we are aggressively pursuing the restructuring of the Financial Services Institute at the college. We must do so at the tertiary level. This is why we are hoping to incentivize the business community to sponsor scholarships. We will also refocus and prioritize how government is trading and scholarship dollars are spent. We must do so also at the secondary level. This is why we have introduced a new curriculum in schools in our core industries, including in a highly acclaimed technical school. We must even do so at the primary level to at least create an appreciation and awareness of the importance of our industries. Ladies and gentlemen, building a national capability is central to the success of any economy, and we have prioritized this as a key initiative to BVI's long-term success. I want to turn briefly to something that is dear to me, entrepreneurship. And I also want to pick up on this notion of individual challenges and responsibilities and move with me on a bubble, especially as a means in achieving national objectives. For my first term in government, I have championed the need to develop a mechanism to provide funding and support for business entrepreneurs. We are well on the way with that. We are providing entrepreneurs with access to training, business development, and funding through the National Business Bureau. We have even teamed up with the European Union to strengthen small businesses, not just in the BVI, but across the region. This is because we recognize that creating new businesses and molding new entrepreneurs is crucial to the sustainable development of our economy. As I look out across the audience, I see the potential of each of you to become the new business owner, the new entrepreneur, the new creative products to deepen and diversify our strong sectors. Our own financial services reviews have highlighted the need for a deeper, widened industry with new value-added activities. And while we expect that some of these services and activities will need to be attracted from outside, I challenge you to move beyond your bubble and seek ways to develop and provide these activities from within. Your government is here to support you, and I am here to support you. Moving beyond your bubble may mean a lot of things to a lot of people. For some, it may mean ensuring that our physical, technological, and service infrastructure, as well as human resourcing capacity, advance at a pace commensurate with what we are trying to achieve for our industries. For others, it may mean protecting our natural resources and preserving the biodiversity of the BVI. And yet for others, it may well be some of the things I spoke of earlier. I'm sure each of the speakers to come through the day will have very unique and different perspectives on what it means. But I'm of the absolute conviction that it means at the simplest level one thing, that we should move. Ladies and gentlemen, in this dynamic world, complacency or not moving means losing market share to competitors. Complacency causes us to lose opportunities when they present themselves. Success itself is a moving target. We must therefore be prepared to seize these opportunities as they materialize. We must prepare ourselves to move beyond the bubble to the new realities. I want to thank you for the opportunity of sharing some of my thoughts with you. I look forward to your spirited discussions and insightful views throughout the rest of the day. Thank you.